This is the duller file. I can literally feel the file sliding across the teeth. This is the sharp file. You hear how it's kind of deeper? You hear that raspiness? Hey guys, how you doing? I am about to go out and do some scrounging for firewood here, but before I go, I did just want to put a quick edge on my chainsaws here, and I thought this would be a good chance to just talk about a couple things. The first one was, I was watching a video last night, and I'm not really trying to call anybody out or even start drama, but I just kind of want to share some concepts. I was watching a video last night where a guy was showing off a really cool Husqvarna battery chainsaw, and as he was making the video, he said, you know, guys, it's only half sharp, so you know, take it for what it is when it's cutting. And the thing I wanted to say with a chainsaw, and I'm pretty sure with any power tool designed for cutting, is there's no such thing as half sharp. Your saw is either sharp or dull, and the second you notice it's not sharp, you should stop cutting and touch up the edge. The more often you sharpen, the less you'll need to sharpen. Your saw is going to perform better over the long run. It's going to grab the wood better. It's going to be safer. So that's why I say that. And the second thing I just want to talk about along the same course of action is your files. I wanted to just, as we're doing this today, I wanted to just make a video and show you guys the difference between a dull file and a sharp file. And I can feel it here because as I'm running my fingers along this file, my fingers are just sliding across the file here, whereas with this new file, I can actually feel the file teeth biting into my hand. So let's set the saw up, and I just want you to hear the sound difference between a dull file and a sharp file. All right, guys, so I've got my Husqvarna battery saw here, and this is a 3/8 inch pitch. So if you take 3 rivets and divide by 2, you're going to come out with 3/8 of an inch. 043 gauge, which is the width of the tang that goes into the guide bar there. And I don't know how many drive links there are, but that's what's on the saw. So we're going to just go ahead and do a touch-up filing. So I usually use an orange Sharpie to mark the first tooth because I find orange stands out better. Sometimes when I'm cutting, if the teeth are very dirty, I don't notice it. So this chain, which I think is a narrow kerf chain, I've actually been trying what Buckin Billy Ray says, where the manufacturer says to sharpen with a 5/32 file, but I've been using a 3/16 file, and it cuts a little bit better. But for the purpose of today's demo, we're just using a 5/32 file. So, you know, I can feel this is the duller file, but I just want you guys to listen, and we're not even really sharpening. I just want you to listen to the sound of the file as I go across the tooth here, and you're going to notice that it's kind of sliding across the tooth. The file isn't really biting into the tooth. So let's get nice and quiet and see if we can just run a couple strokes or a few strokes here. Let's do one more because I'm kind of getting into this left filing. hopefully you guys heard that, and I can literally feel the, I'm trying to get this off and it's stuck on there. Be careful you don't hit yourself when you're taking that off. But I can literally feel the file sliding across the teeth when I'm doing that. And I should be wearing a good pair of leather gloves when I'm doing this, and so should you. So this is the Sharp file, okay? So this is just out of the box, or actually it's been in storage for years, but it's never been used. So let's just listen to the sound difference on this file and see if you can hear it. You hear how it's kind of deeper? And I can feel that file biting into the teeth. You hear that raspiness? So the moral of the video today is basically, you know, when you grab your file to sharpen the saw, if you feel it just kind of sliding across the tooth and not really biting, just take your file, put it in the metal recycling bin, and get a new file. I just ordered some new files, and a box of files was, maybe it was $22, maybe it was $24 for a dozen files shipped to my house. But you don't want to be using a dull file, because if it's dull, you'll tend to slip and cut your hands. It's going to be more work. It's going to be more frustrating. And I can't really say how long a file lasts. Not as long as I think. For some reason, it seems like the round files actually go bad faster than, you know, the classic rectangular files. But I just want to say, don't be afraid to change the file. They're cheap. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get back to work and see if I can get these teeth sharpened up. To sharpen these two saws, it shouldn't take me more than 15 minutes, probably less. But again, I'm not sharpening a dull saw where I'm doing like 10 or 15 strokes a tooth. All I'm doing is like 2 to 4 strokes a tooth. That's what I call a maintenance sharpening, just enough to make sure that that edge is right where you want it to be. So thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.